You're listening to Let's Talk Sports podcast with me, Lucia. NFL, NBA news, and more coming to you right now. Hi, and welcome to this week's episode of Let's Talk Sports podcast with me, Lucia. Okay, so the rundown this week is last week's storylines, this week in sports history, news, Super Bowl predictions, and NFL Week 1 predictions. Woo! Cannot believe it's football time! Yay! So, this week's main storylines, football is back! Oh my god, I've missed it so much. I am so looking forward to this season. I don't care how my Giants go. I just love football. I will watch any game. I don't plan on missing a single Giants snap. I'm actually even going to a Giants game this year. I'm just so looking forward to it. It just is all coming together and I'm like, yay! I'm so excited for football. And football's like the greatest sport to have ever been invented. Giants have released linebacker Blake Martinez, which sort of is upsetting because he was such a great addition to the defense, but like it's salary cap wise, it'd be great. Salary cap wise is just he needed to go just to free up some salary. The Giants have made some moves in terms of salary to keep their salary cap open for this year. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but look, he hasn't signed anywhere else, so yeah. Donovan Mitchell has been traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers and not the Knicks. Yeah, it's kind of upsetting that Donovan Mitchell, who all he wanted to do was be a New York Knick, they couldn't get it done. So yeah. But that's just typical Knicks things. Aaron Judge is literally the only Yankee doing anything towards winning. He's literally the only Yankee that's doing anything. The rest of the Yankees suck. Aaron Judge rules. He's the MVP. And yeah, he just hit his 55th home run. So he is 7 away from the authentic home run total. It's the authentic one. Serena Williams has ended her 27-year career in tennis. Thank you, Serena. Thank you to the GOAT of tennis. And probably the GOAT of all women's sports. Thank you, Serena. So has Sue Bird. Sue Bird has retired from the WNBA as well. So, goodbye to those two GOATs. Thank you for everything that you've done for women's sports, and we look forward to seeing you in Halls of Fames. This week in sports history. In 1987, John McEnroe was fined $17,500 for tirades at the US Open. As the US Open is currently going ahead, John McEnroe was always fined, all the time. And in some news, so there's not really much news coming out, apart from a couple of little things. So Kadarius Toney is ready for Week 1 against the Titans. Joe Flacco is starting QB for the Jets. We have Mitchell Trubisky is the starter for Pittsburgh Steelers. So yeah, we've got a few little things. Marcus May was arrested for aggravated assault with a firearm, and Dalino Gallinari has a torn left ACL and is out for the season. So the Celtics are looking maybe to sign Carmelo Anthony to fill that position. Super Bowl prediction. I have it being the Bucks versus the Bills. I think people are counting out the Bucks. Even though Tom Brady is going through some personal life drama that I will not be getting into. I do believe that he will make it to the Super Bowl. And if it is against the Bills, that will be an amazing storyline. Because who was in the way of the Bills for 20 years? Tom Brady. So now they can either retire Tom Brady as a loser or he will be retired as a winner. But yeah, I think the Bills are going to win the Super Bowl this year. It's their time. It's their time to win the Super Bowl. They're stacked and they're ready to go. Ready and raring to go. Okay, here it is. The Week 1 predictions. So, Bills versus Rams. I've got the Bills. Then we have the Saints versus the Falcons. I have the Saints. We've got the Browns versus the Panthers. I have the Panthers. We have the 49ers versus the Bears. I've got the 49ers. We've got the Steelers versus the Bengals. I've got the Bengals. We have the Eagles versus the Lions. I've got the Eagles, and that just made me feel sick inside. We've got the Colts versus the Texans. I am going with the Colts. We've got the Pats versus the Dolphins. I'm going with the Dolphins. We've got the Ravens versus the Jets. I'm going with the Ravens, because why the hell would you pick the Jets? We've got the Jags versus the Commanders. I'm actually going with the Jags. I don't think the Commanders are going to be anything good this year. That was weird. It was the first time I actually wrote down the Commanders as a team name. So please don't change it again. We have the Chiefs versus the Cardinals. I am going with the Chiefs. We've got the Raiders versus the Chargers. I am going with the Raiders. We've got the Packers versus the Vikings. I'm going with the Packers. We've got the Giants versus the Titans. I am going with the Giants. I know, homerism. We've got the Bucks versus the Cowboys. I'm going with the Bucks. And we've got the Broncos versus Seahawks. I'm going with the Broncos in Russell Wilson's revenge game. Okay, so a little quick update before I finish off this episode. For the upcoming season, I have decided that I'll pick 3 games per week that I'll do a deep dive through. Where I'll go through and I'll examine what went wrong, what went right, defenses, offenses, that sort of thing. So that is something that you can look forward to. It won't always be the Giants, don't worry, I'm not going to be homerism, but I will watch every Giants game, so I'm going to give you my opinion on the Giants anyway. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick out 3 games from the week that I will circle and I will watch, and then I will give you a deep dive into them and how I think that they are going to go forward throughout the year, what I liked, what I disliked, and I'll just have a play around with how that goes. So that is all for this week's episode of Let's Talk Sports podcast. So I'll catch you all next week. Bye.